Gold Island tends to have a negative reputation in the community as this song has a whopping 40 monsters, and that leads to a lot of people finding this song to be overcrowded. Do we agree with that take? Let's see. So let's start with the stinkers. Sponge has an awful performance. It's shrill, unpleasant, and a complete nuisance in the full song that doesn't pair well with any monster. Dandadu's voice crack is so funny yet also really terrible. That and the rest of the performance in this mediocre melody just make it even worse. Shelby has a great rhythm and provides a lot of basic percussion to the song, at least when it plays. The single spot where it doesn't play in the second half of the octopus verse mucks up the flow of the song and really takes me out of it every time I listen to it. And since T-Rex does the same thing as him but actually plays in that spot, it just makes T-Rex better than Shelby. Epic Wobox has some of the greatest tracks on the whole island. All 5 of them add a lot to the song and are great to listen to, at least when he plays. Just like with Shelby, the fact that it cuts off halfway through every verse that it plays in renders it really jarring and mucks up the flow of the song even more. That and its overbearing transition effects that deafen the song whenever they play make the negatives completely outweigh the positives. Yeah, so I left out a lot of monsters on the bad end for good reason. That's because this island's worst aspect is just like Cloud Island, but much worse. Half of the roster just ended up being throwaway, ended up muddying the entire song and making certain verses straight up unlistenable. On Cloud, the problem was reserved for around 6 monsters, but here the problem is up to 17, which is absolutely terrible. This island has a lot of percussion, yet most of them don't do anything. There are so many half-baked melodies that just overcrowd, and a lot of filler tracks that just steal the spotlight away from other monsters, leaving the song feeling bloated and incohesive. A big L for this island for sure. Okay, let's talk about the good monsters now. Pom Pom and Hula have a great duet together, and with Octopus they make a fantastic trio, completed by Sugarbush. More so on him later. These 3 give so much of the spice and life of the verse and have great performances all around, and Pom Pom's second track only makes it better and caps off the song in a good manner. Mammoth, Potbelly, and Fog are another really good trio that start off the song really well, and all play off of each other really well. Pomo is a great transition monster, and his second track with the bassy toms really adds a lot to the ending verse. Clambolt makes up a lot of the song's personality, and is one of the most important air fillers in the whole song, and on top of that, actually has a decent rhythm to back it up. Furcorn has a fantastic vocal performance and really great melody that do a good job of rounding out the first section of the song. Deech hits new grounds with this track. Its melody is simply amazing and serene, and a great representation of Gold Island's serene yet grand feel to it. Smoochel is easily the best seasonal here, without question. The 2 voices work with each other flawlessly well. It plays off of the other monsters amazingly well and fits both verses' tones really well. An easy W for a really great monster all around. Cybop caps off the song in a really nice way. The filter helps it meld into the song expertly well, and the performance is really sound. Pango honestly deserves a shout out on this island. It adds a lot to the flavor to the end and pairs really well with Shelby. It adds a lot of rhythmic interest at the end, and is the only small percussionist that actually stands out on its own. Bogart does Bogart things, and Bogart things include being a crucial air filler with interesting duets and making up a lot of the personality of the song. It also adds a nice layer of intensity during the octopus verse, giving it even more purpose than it already does. Reetling is such a joyful and calming track that really adds a ton to the verse it's in, and it's a great air filler while also contrasting Bogart's higher intensity, but still melding in perfectly with him. Sugarbush has 2 fantastic tracks. The first track is such an amazing melody that pairs beautifully with Deej, and the second track goes amazingly well with Reetling, amplifying both monsters, and on top of that, the vocal part fills in a crucial space where the other vocals don't sing in, making it borderline essential to the song. And what a shocker, Quibble's going to be the best monster on the island. Who could have seen that coming? The first track is decent and is the main air filler of the first section, and the third track is alright, taking a back seat and letting Querister and Rift take center stage, but where it really shines is the second track. That second track is just straight up one of the best tracks in the whole game. It's interesting, complex, almost feels somber and sad, takes full advantage of the piano, and the song even lets it have time to shine and pairs perfectly with every monster it plays with. My words will never do it justice. All you need to do is listen to it and you'll understand everything. So that's gold. It has some really high highs and some abysmal lows. So what does that mean for the island? Is it actually good? No, unfortunately not at all. Despite the absolutely amazing tracks I've been talking about, they only make up half of the roster, and all the filler half-baked tracks just muddy up the song up and make it really hard to focus in on the expertly crafted tracks. So yeah, this island really is as bloated as people say. Well, that's that. Do you agree or disagree? Do I qualify for a land of gold and ivory, or do I belong in a muck puddle? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one.